Much, Dash. Yes, we are ready and excited to get into Game 4 here. Match point now, double match point for SK Telecom T1 here from Korea to make their second straight MSI Finals appearance.
Yeah, and I want to talk about what SKT needs to do, because everyone's going to think about what does RNG need to do. SKT, keep playing high-pressure League of Legends, because the young players on RNG are starting to crack, and Marta even had some shaky plays in that game as well. SKT continually asking the question of RNG and coming out the better in this series so far.
And how many times have we seen SKT wear a team down throughout a best-of-5 series, and it looks like they have RNG absolutely at their breaking point. So the way you break them is to play the same level of aggression or go even more aggressive. And yes, RNG throwing the Hail Mary, completely changing their ban strategy.
I think that's absolutely accurate here, especially when you consider the bans that SKT are putting in, where look, they continually are trying to ban out Woosh. The Twitch goes away, the Lucian goes away. I could even see, okay, I was going to ask if they're going to Sivir pick, first pick, or ban it away.
Yep. Actually, after this game, I pointed to 3 champions and said RNG need to ban these to spawn, and it was Fizz, Soraka, and Sivir. So I'm glad RNG is doing these bans, because that's what's been beating them.
And welcome to China. If you can't beat it, just get rid of it. Very often on match points, Chinese teams will do this, where they're just like, okay, you might beat us, but beat us with something else, because we are sick of playing your game.
Ooh. It's either a first pick Maokai or first pick Azir.
Has to be a Maokai, come on.
We're thinking it's the Maokai for the initiation, but this just depends how scared they are of Faker's Azir. Now they give this up. Oh my god, I think this is hugely favorable for SKT.
So the reason this is favorable is because the 2 strongest picks left over are both flanking champions. Deficio already hit it. Azir does not deal with flankers well at all. And they've just given the 2 best in the game to Duke and Faker.
And Azir and Ryze, in my opinion, are somewhat tradable, but nothing trades with Maokai. You'll be able to pick the Echo, but it's just not the same, in my opinion.
Point and click targeted routes coming out of the 2 teleports of SKT. The Maokai and the Ryze will reach you, period. You can't even really disengage them with the Azir knockback. So this is, I think, scary things. And Royal, understanding that it's now a very aggressive team from SKT, they have to kind of go for it to make this work. Looking for some defense to buffer them back.
And Nidalee was up, but they go for the Graves. Just because I think SKT has such a team-fighting behemoth right here that they need a team-fighting jungler. Otherwise, you could have expected MLXG to go hard with Nidalee. This means that Blank's going to be able to get Kindred as well.
My problem is that there's only going to be soft CC out of anyone on the RNG lineup. I mean, unless Xiaohu goes super aggressive, looks to make plays, MLXG is not going to have anything. I mean, they're probably looking at Echo top lane to be able to maybe try and keep down the Maokai. He's only going to have follow-up CC.
I think it's almost certainly the Echo. And then at that point, you have to wonder what Woosh is going to do as an AD carry against the Ezreal with the bans against him. I mean,
has to be Kalista one more time. SKT just look like they're so prepared for this draft.
It definitely has looked very good. Now it's going to be Tristana in for Woosh, a longer range, and the Poppy comes through. They don't want the Echo, actually. Looking for something a bit more disengagey. Poppy to knock people out.
I actually agree with the Poppy, because the one way you win this fight is if a flank comes through and you nail the 2 flankers. You either get the Ryze or you get the Maokai. All of a sudden, Tristana, not under any threat, can start chunking people out. So they have that win condition. One thing that Poppy can do that Echo cannot is make a fight 4v5.
It's also something Trist can do, albeit for a shorter amount of time. The Trist ultimate can definitely reset fights as well. I still am hugely favorable towards SKT's team composition because of the 2 point-and-click flank champions they've been able to pick, but I am very happy RNG decided to change up their bans, because if they weren't going to do it here, I don't think they'd ever get a chance to try.
So Royal at least making the Koreans of SK Telecom T1 play a bit differently. The Karma, though, still in. If you don't get Sivir, why not find another ultimate that lets your whole team move fast? And Wolf can do that on Karma a little bit with the Mantra. And yeah, it's Royal trying to kite back and say, if you don't one-shot us, Azir and Trist and Graves, all 3 will put out obscene amounts of damage over a fight. 2 tanks in the front line. Looper and Mata can hold up, I assume.
Pressure's on RNG right now. Even with their team composition, you look at it, it just screams lane swap even at the start of their games. I mean, Graves, Tristana, they're going to be able to push down lanes so hard. This is going to be a tough game for RNG to win.
We'll see if they can do it. Let us know who it's going to be. Double match point for SK Telecom T1. Hashtag RNG win, hashtag SKT win for who it's going to be. This best of 5 could be over with 3 straight wins for the Koreans of SK Telecom T1, but we are in China, here in Shanghai, and Royal never give up. Could certainly turn this one around with 2 games and bring themselves into the finals.
Yeah, but really I feel like RNG is going to have to outplay substantially right here, because if I look at the way the pick and ban phase was traded back and forth, RNG picked Azir with Rise Up, traded that back. They picked Graves with Kindred up, and they didn't really have, in my opinion, a great answer for the Maokai choice. So I think just raw power-wise, SKT's composition is stronger, but RNG will have to take the aggression and find a way to outplay.
In one instance it isn't, and that is if Tristana gets going. I mean, it is so hard to execute upon, but flashbacks of CLG's final versus TSM, where Stixxay went crazy. A young AD carry and Whoosh can echo a storyline here against a very experienced lineup.
It's definitely a possibility here, and we get ourselves into the opening moments of the game, and it is a top-side invade yet again from Royal. Never give up. Blank cutting back. No trinket down from him that I saw. Fervor Ezreal. Sometimes you see Thunderlords on him, so that's a choice. And actually, even though Whoosh might be a Hurricane user, actually doing Warlord's Bloodlust, so he really wants to survive the fact that he's taking a lot of attention in the back line.
He wants to be able to go IE. Like, that's what it is. He wants to be able to get to his power spike sooner. He doesn't want to have to invest into lifesteal. He wants double Zeal Atom, I'm assuming, into IE, and be able to just take over team fights at the same time that Xiaohu is spiking on his 3 items of Azir. They want to sync their power spikes perfectly.
Yeah, based on that choice, I also don't think he's going to be going with the Rage Blade Trist that we saw from Stixxay. I think he's more likely to go with something that NL did, which was actually Infinity Edge first. I don't know if he's going to go that far into it, but he has the potential to do so.
I think BF pick into Hurricane.
I think that's what he should do, absolutely.
See what it ends up being. Wolf and Bang. Make sure that no one's in that tri-brush, and we will have ourselves a lane swap game. Jungle start not happening for SKT. Their dual lane walks into lane. Similar for Royal Never Give Up, who did walk into this one a little bit later. I do think the poke of Ezreal Karma is really threatening, and I think it's actually a positive for RNG that they're not playing the 2-on-2. SKT doing an aggressive but unpunished jungle start, taking the southern red buff away.
There's a chance that this completely shafts RNG right here, because they could get 3 buffs since they're not going towards the other counter, because it would just be too risky. They're definitely not getting the red buff. I don't think they'll be too starved on experience as long as they make a quick lane push after they realize their red buff is gone.
And you can see most of those little Raptors were gone as well, so very interesting start right here. SKT not currently ahead in gold on the scoreboard, but I think, yeah, more of them is there. And like, hey, guys, whoa, they took our red buff away. They're on their blue. Mata, come on, let's go take this over.
Yeah, the quickest reaction they can try and get. He's got Smite, though, for the secure.
Blank should be able to get it, no problem. 390, there is the blue buff, and wow. 2 sides of the jungle they shouldn't have been allowed to get, SKT gets.
And this time SKT swap back, so it won't even hurt them in the tempo of the lane swap. Looper's already teleported to top lane. Duke's going to follow. So even though that is a risky trade for SKT in terms of if they ever committed to the 4-0, that would have been difficult.
Yeah.
They pick up this huge creep wave and they get their standard lanes.
And now RNG doesn't even have a way to push a lane after realizing their jungle has been stolen. So SKT completely take it and successfully run away.
Look at that. Bang gets to lane with Boots of Speed now, which won't mean much for the matchup, but at least it just means he has some items. Got to get a recall in there. Wolf wearing a pink ward, same for Duke actually, as they got to those lanes a bit later, so just a bit more safety for these 2-on-2s. Could certainly mean something. Right now though, CS lead for both Looper and Xiaohu. The mid lane one a little bit lower. Bang, nice play right there, knowing there's really no threat on him. Gets some nice poke down, and Wolf doing the same. Again, this dual lane, very scary. You see SKT opting into matching it.
I definitely feel like Karma support can have a very strong laning phase. He's got to make sure to get those Qs weaved through the creeps, however.
Got enough mana to work with, it should be fine. Level 3 when they actually start fighting in the first place. And we're going to see the top laners doing battle. Looper versus Duke. And not too much picked up there. Just an equal trade of farm now as Duke got what was supposed to be his.
And right now, Faker's running, once again, teleport, which is very standard on Rise, into what is an exhaust on Xiaohu. There should still be windows where Xiaohu has kill threat along with MLXG's Graves.
Yep.
However, they have to go as soon as he's level 6, because Faker, when he gets towards that Catalyst, is going to start out-trading, out-sustaining this Azir lane. So RNG should still have windows to capitalize on this early game, but can they make it happen? Because the answer in this series so far has been no.
And SKT has also been refining the way they play around these early games. Faker and Duke, very willing to use their earliest teleports to get back to lane and to make sure they don't get out pressured there.
Nice shot.
Because they're picking the range supports in the matchup, which is to speak towards Wolf and Bang being able to hold their own in laning phase and not need the backup of the double teleport. And then, once SKT have been able to use the teleport for the laning phase, they use the teleport for the mid game and the follow-ups on the gank. So SKT continuing on the process that led to their Game 2 and Game 3 victories.
And Duke on a second recall now, actually, coming with double rings plus the corrupting potion. I want to know if Looper's going to choose to match that. Otherwise, I think he gets worn down against just a significant mana regeneration and ability power advantage from Duke. It could actually break that matchup a little bit here.
So one thing I do like about Poppy is if you go Cal and you have your buckler, your sustain is actually quite high in lane. Like really easy to sustain up against a Maokai. But in saying that, he has to go back pretty soon because he stayed for a very long time.
Now, he doesn't quite have the gold for a Spectre's Cal, which he'd want to be his first buy.
Yep.
And also, he's probably waiting on his teleport cooldown if he doesn't want to lose too much pressure in the lane.
Faker looking for the play onto Xiao, who takes the exhaust as just punishment for using his own ultimate, which is a much shorter cooldown, so Faker getting out ahead on that one.
And Xiaohu didn't go in. Like, that is the window right there. Get the exhaust, go aggressive, but they didn't know where the jungler was out of SKT. So they sit back by their time, and that's a huge cooldown right now.
Yeah, MLXG and Blank were both close, but MLXG also knew he wasn't wearing any buffs, and Blank is getting some counter jungling of his own, definitely taking the tempo advantage from
Xiaohu
MLXG.
wants him.
Well, Flash is up on Kindred.
The
Should be able to
Flash.
Yeah, well, Flash for a big wolf steal is not the best situation, so Blank biting off a bit more than he could chew. SKT overall slightly up in gold now as a result, stacking up their tier on Faker. And Woosh just running out of health. He's already chugged through his potion. SKT, meanwhile, finally Bang did take some damage, but he's still got a biscuit to chew through. Honestly, these lanes all looking quite good for the Korean representative here.
And let's just look at like what makes Ezreal not great in the laning phase. It's because he has to go a tier, has a slump earlier than usual, and he can't push out against something like a Tristana or a Sivir. What does Karma do in this lane? Completely nullifies any advantage in pushing that Woosh would have. And also, because she is strong at the earlier stages of the game in terms of damage, really doesn't mean that Bang going through his power trough means all that much.
Exactly. Let's talk about double tier in the context of this game, because Faker's got a tier, and Bang will be going for a tier 2 as MLXG. Looked like he just straight up took the blue from Xiaohu.
That's a mistake.
That is something we haven't seen from them yet, but double tier in this composition, I don't think hurts SKT a huge amount just because Trist won't be able to shove out against the Karma tier, and tier helps Ryze just do more damage. But right now, before the tier is even built, Blank without Flash is a little bit caught.
Yeah, Xiaohu wished he had some mana there to be able to do anything.
He could have gone for the Flash ulti, honestly. I think he had enough to pop the ult, but now it's just some poke. MLXG low on health, losing part of his jungle. He's got that Hunter's Potion, though. He shouldn't be in the worst situation. We do have Looper back in a lane. He saved the teleport and used it with a Spectre's Cowl.
So I actually don't think you can flash in that situation. It gets you an immediate kill as they go aggressive.
Looking on that to Wolf. Exhaust onto Woosh, turns back around, pops the stun. But still, again, a one trade by SKT. The shield coming out of Karma and plenty of damage out of the Qs. Mantra, Woosh is going to get jumped on. Exhaust onto Bang, but they don't have the follow-up damage required to do anything to him. Even Wolf's going to be fine. Yeah, MLXG is around, but Woosh getting lower and lower. And now here comes Blank. Mantra's in a world of hurt, jumps backwards. End of the line for MLXG, zones him out, but Royal starting to lose heavily. 500 gold down just from the laning phase.
Yeah, so if really good trade out of SKT there, actually. They're absorbing a lot of pressure right now, and they have a 12 CS advantage. The reason I don't think Xiaohu could have flashed is because going back into Faker's lane means that you now are up against a Ryze that can chase you down, and you don't have Flash to get away from him. And it just puts Xiaohu under too much pressure. He's not there to win the early game for RNG. He's there to win the late game. It should be Marta and Woosh that are doing the work right now.
And looking at the lane, Faker's got to have a huge grin on his face, knowing that the enemy jungler took blue from his opponent, something that happened to Faker during the group stage and put him in a world of hurt. So now, Xiaohu doesn't have the mana to counter, and Faker is just taking this blue mistake from RNG and making the whole team pay.
And now the recall's coming through. Tier plus Sheen in for Bang. This should be Woosh's recall as well. You're not allowed to lane against a 2-item enemy champion ever. And we'll see what he goes for. This is the moment of truth. He actually has roughly the money for Rage Blade.
Right on a ward.
Yeah, right in front of the trinket. He won't get stopped this time. No one's in range for another skill shot.
He knew the ward was there. They hit it twice. Once again, it's just little things in the game of League of Legends that cost you like 6 seconds. All of a sudden, you can't catch the next minion wave.
No, Woosh would have been able to rocket jump away, save maybe 2 seconds for a safer recall, but went for a greedy recall once again, and this is now 3 winning lanes for SKT, which is going to make it all the more difficult for RNG to come back.
700 gold the advantage. Xiaohu wanted to play Azir. He wanted so badly to take that champion away from Faker that he's first picked it several times now. After realizing that Faker would play it quite well in game 2, and he's losing his lane.
Yeah, a lot of that has to come down to the blue buff, but a lot of that just has to come down to Faker playing out of his mind right now.
They're going for Lupa.
Yep, they have the ability.
Duke pulls aggro early, but they might still be okay. Plenty of damage dealt down to this Poppy, who doesn't have the ulti available, picks up the buckler again, and just can't get away. Blank gets the kill. First blood to SKT in what could be a deciding game 4.
And Faker didn't even have to go there. I mean, he teleported to the pink ward and then was just like, I don't even have to show that I've burnt this cooldown. Great juggling of aggro there.
I mean, SKT definitely looking to try and close RNG out here, but RNG making one more move. Faker doesn't have his teleport, but I don't think RNG knows that, and SKT smartly respect the play and don't let RNG back into the game.
And this is what we expected out of SKT. Don't match fire with fire. Play the cerebral game. You know, beat them around the map. And that's exactly what they've done this series long.
Yeah. As long as they can avoid the aggressive moves that other teams are throwing at them, which is something SKT couldn't do throughout the group stage, but they've made a few tweaks. They're warding a little bit better, and honestly, Faker is just a new player this week. Last week, we kept on talking about he wasn't playing like Faker. This week, he's playing like Faker, maybe even better.
Beautiful stuff right there. Again, walks in, feigns, doesn't even feint it, goes for the one-on-one, pulls Xiaohu's exhaust, who was not in turret range to pull aggro, couldn't go for the big outplay and make that work any better. Faker walking away again with a summoner spell advantage, plus 20 minions in the matchup.
And you know, like the reason it's so big, because now even if they gank him and get perfect execution, there's a chance he turns around and blows up Xiaohu. Even in a 2v1 situation, I mean, with the Catalyst boost of swiftness, he's going to get back in range quick enough to just kill one of them. And it's just opening up this side of the map. They won bottom and mid that hard that Blank is just uncontested. He can walk up and down river as much as he likes.
Very comfortable as well. That Devour kill on Dragon gives him 5 more, and he just picked it up, so he's got a head start on trying to head towards Sated.
6 stacks so far.
I mean, it's just looking so good for SKT. This is a continuation of game 2 into game 3, and it's the way SKT wears you down throughout a series. RNG completely changes their bans around. SKT again pick double TP and look to play the map while neutralizing any of the laning phases. Yet this game, they actually win all 3 lanes, as well as being able to play the map with double teleports. So impressed with the way SKT has adapted to this tournament and this series.
Yeah, thanks to the first blood kill, Blank's ahead in gold as well. He wouldn't have been without it. The farm's actually pretty good for MLXG, but still good things. Looking now at the bot lane. Woosh forced to jump away, but the root's still on for Wolf. Bang, looking for more plays. Another Q. Ooh, that one's going to miss, actually. A slow coming out from Mata's Braum. Another Mystic shot lands the Sheen, just doing so much damage.
Why that happens, the collapse also one more time comes out onto the blue buff. I mean, right now, RNG just have no room to play this map whatsoever. They're pressuring all 3 lanes and taking everything. That pink ward has been in the jungle for so long.
Yeah. And when I talk to teams that have been starved out by SKT in the past, you ask them what it's like to play, and it's that they contest everything, even the small minions in the wave. You have to fight for. RNG really trying desperately to do something here.
Teleport about a half second late for Looper, and yeah, easy escape for Bang. Burn Summoner heal for Mooseby, but otherwise just rocket jumps to make, Arcane Shifts to make that happen. The trade of equal summoners as Woosh burned his as well. And MLXG walks in a lane just to take farm.
He has to shove it out. Like, they have to recall. Mata is so low right now. They have no other option but to respect the laning power and use him just to relieve pressure.
This early game has been a clinic by SKT. They've avoided every move RNG has been taking at them. The tier Ezreal, not a weakness here because of the way they're able to support it with the Karma, shove the lane much more quickly. Trist is in a power trough right now. It's actually Ezreal who's only going to get stronger and is already winning the lane. And SKT going for every single buff.
Good smite by MLXG, looking for the play. Ulti's not going to land from Xiaohu. Woosh can't be there either. SKT went for the red buff steal. It was smited out by the RNG jungler. But nothing really to show for it here. Blank wearing the Rift Herald buff, buffing the minions up and taking that turret low.
And Woosh is shorted a couple of jumps in a row. That's Xiaohu making another mistake on his ear, a champion that he was playing flawlessly in the group stages.
The clone from Duke.
The flash route in, and that's not going to be good for Xiaohu. The second kill of the game goes to SKT. Beautiful.
This is SKT's experience shining through so much. This is RNG also not playing to the same level they did in the group stage. They have been worn down by SKT. They are not making the right decisions. They are walking into a lot of traps that SKT is fairly easily setting. They didn't have wards in the river there. Xiaohu needed to run down, not sideways. Another kill and another big advantage for SKT.
Summoner's up for him, and now Blank and Fake, you're looking to take some damage off of this turret. Health bar chipping away as the pieces of rock start falling off. Down to half HP now. Even Wolf joining in the flash route on MLXG. Here comes Mott to turn it around. But Faker walking around, getting out of turret aggro, staying alive. A burn of flash for him, burn of flash for MLXG.
Yeah, and even Mata starting to make some mistakes. He flies in there. What would have been a turnaround play on game one as he nails the slow is this time just relieving pressure off his mid lane. And honestly, all of these plays are set up in advance because of the deep vision that they're able to secure. They're able to shove people off turret time and time again.
And here, Whoosh is going to be pushed off easy farm from the turret as well. Like, Wolf, Blank, and Bang don't seem like that threatening of a duo, but they have to respect the double teleport since people were behind them and could teleport in to make a big play. The pings are actually going down from SKT right now. They're thinking about potentially going for a dive, also notifying the team that MLXG is there.
Scary things. As Ult comes by, tags Mata. Actually, I believe it saw MLXG coming down as well. They ping it off and say, hey, there's someone there you didn't know about. And it means that the SKT bot lane can stay safe on this one. Looper walking back to the top side, but down quite a bit under Duke, who's got 2 stacks in his Dark Seal. It's got to feel good being Maokai in that situation. And 2.5, almost 3,000 actually, the gold lead. SK Telecom T1 looking to close the series out with 3 straight wins, but keeps going this way.
And once again, they recognize the top side of the map. They can play aggressive now because Duke can take the turret. Faker rotates into Fog of War, sweeps out even more vision for his team. Backside at the same time, backs off a little bit. I mean, now they're playing up again because they've chunked out Whoosh, but they're not taking any unneeded aggressive plays.
MLXG's still here. Mata doesn't even have flash. There's no play to make. I guess he's watching for a dive, but that's it.
Exactly. So much of this regular season was Mata kind of guiding the young talents into making the right decision, and they were doing it in the group stage. But right here, SKT are the ones making the right decisions, and RNG just doesn't seem to have cohesion.
Looper just in the wrong side of this one. 1 versus 3. Faker toying with the sweet a little bit before he eats it. Nothing else for this Poppy to do. Faker's got a sweet tooth, so does Blank. Who's gonna get the calories? Goes to Faker. 2-0 on him. This Rise still scaling up.
Yeah, I mean, this is a message SKT sending to both Flash Wolves and COG as well, that they are here to play and they should be considered the favorites. They come into the bracket stage and the knockout stage as the 4th seed, and the SKT underdog story never really took off because everyone has been respecting Korea this entire time and thinking they would ascend back to their peak form, and it's looking like they're there, especially with the way they're playing this game.
And look how controlled they are. They're taking everything off the map, and they're not giving up anything in response. I mean, MLXG has walked into bottom lane probably 3 or 4 times in the last couple of minutes, and they just back away, play it respectively, clear out the minion waves. They're not even getting chip damage on a turret. Credit to Wolf and Bang, they're 30 CS up in their lane, and what has been a weakness for SKT, at least in my opinion, this whole tournament long, has been proven to not be the case in this best of 5 against what we would consider one of the strongest duo lanes left over.
I agree, but I also think this comes back to the whole range support call. Like, having a Karma into a Braum in this laning phase gives the poke advantage heavily to SKT. Whoosh has to pay attention to so many skill shots flying his way with Mystic Shots plus Karma, and the other 2 games, they had Soraka in there, so they're not necessarily going to be losing those lanes.
But you have to understand that Mata has made a career of playing aggressive lane matchups and getting kills for his AD carries.
I also have to remember that during the Season 4 World Championship, Mata made a name on Janna and completely crushed by roaming around the map and disengaging. I agree with you, though, that this split Mata has been the engager, and SKT have done a great job of shutting that down.
And it's still been RNG, the ones banning Alistar away and not really giving him those reliable engage tools. Hoping that they could push down Wolf, and Wolf seems unperturbed. His champion pool seems now unassailable as he found some new styles, and I gotta give him a lot of credit as a man who played Alistar every single game. He didn't get Alistar, played Tahm Kench. Just sort of played a lot of defensive tanks, and now looking to dominate lane. Looking to keep the pressure lead, right? That turret went down. SKT have a gold lead because they're winning lanes. Team that used to play just not to lose the early game, now actually turning the pressure on, and Well, the barometer's off the charts here. They're really pressuring RNG out of this game.
And sure, Faker's been great this whole series, but it really is a turnaround of the bottom lane and the top lane that has led to this being such a successful story. They might have caught out someone here, but they're teleporting in.
Teleporting in, looking for the play. Mata's gonna get rooted up here. He's gonna flash and still get stuck on the ground. Ults across, and looks like doing the same, but there's the root in for Duke, and that's Mata going down. 4-0 in kills. Whoosh forced to jump away. Does not want to be part of this one. MLXG escaping through the base gate, and SKT taking over all of the map.
And these wards are a great example of why SKT can be so dominating when they are on their game, because even if it looks like someone has caught his position, SKT will never extend beyond their ward line. So they can always teleport in behind you once they have a lead, making it so nothing you do works. They get another kill, and they look to get 2 more turrets.
And this is an example of them understanding how far they are ahead, because they know that this time around, RNG can't pull the trigger and go aggressive. Not only do they not have the right support to do so, but they just don't have the items to kill out one of the members that is there. So it's a mixture between SKT understanding their lead and RNG falling behind in the laning phase and not being able to play their style.
And SKT, as far as improving, we talked about that storyline. We'll get to that in a minute. We get to watch that fight again.
Because let's take a look at this. If this is any other game, Mata turns around, initiates onto Blank, and they kill him. However, this game, they're out of position. They don't have the items to be able to go for a cutoff. Duke just takes no damage, like whatsoever. And this is SKT, you know, playing great League of Legends, but also understanding just how far ahead they are.
Yeah, and they've gone distortion boots on both of their solo laners as well, so they can reduce those teleport cooldowns and leave even smaller windows for RNG to come back. And at this point, even if they don't teleport in onto the right fight with their 8,000 gold lead, they may still be okay. They get Mata again.
Right in. Mata even puts the shield the wrong way, still survives for now. And now it's the re-engage. Blank pops the Lamb's Bite, stays alive for a bit longer, and now we have Faker in the battle. Duke in the front lines. Looper, though, left alone, rooted up once again, will go down. Faker on a killing spree, 5-0. And SKT on pace for a perfect game heading into the finals.
And they're not even scratched. SKT can just turn around and start up the Baron because they have so much damage, and RNG have no response right now.
Sated Devour on Blank, only increasing the speed in which they can do this objective. They don't even need Bang to take it. He's the one zoning off MLXG. This is quite a display by SKT.
Beautiful execution. Baron gonna go down. A nice smite coming through. More poke from Wolf, and SK Telecom T1 are unstoppable.
They're honestly beautiful to watch play when they play this style of League of Legends. It's kind of almost disheartening for any team looking on, because you have to just respect how controlled, disciplined, but then when they do go aggressive, how well they execute on these teams.
Yeah, and Duke was in range for Twisted Advance there, but even if he wasn't, they had the Karma to speed him up. So very easy initiation for them to make. At that point, Faker walks in the side and can also just chain down Looper.
And look at this, Faker, he leaves Xiaohu on like 200 health. Anyone else could easily chase underneath that turret. He's like, no, the main prize is actually Baron right now. Not gonna chase, turn around, blow up Looper, get the objective for my team. And the coordination and discipline is honestly what we complimented so much coming into this tournament out of SKT. It's great to see them back in world best form.
Yeah, during the group stage, they were unable to control the pace of the game, and it'll be really interesting watching them if they're able to close this out and we get to see them move towards finals, whether they can maintain this or whether this was RNG's younger players kind of cowering a little bit to the pressure, because there's been a lot of big mistakes by RNG in this last game. MLXG taking blue buff away from him, Whoosh whiffing a couple rocket jumps, and Mata in these last few games just not even close to landing his initiations, because right now it's all SKT.
And it's SKT inside of Royal's base right now. A root onto Duke. They're looking to knock him against the wall and kill him off. An explosive charge on his head, but it's not enough to kill off the tree. Papio just buys some time, but there's still no kills. Keep in mind, Duke was inside their base, roughly 1v4. And doesn't care. Mid lane turret goes down. SKT 6-0 in that score.
Yeah, exactly right. This is why people pride Maokai as the best solo tank in the game, because he's just able to do things like that, go aggressive in situations where you honestly shouldn't be able to. Drew just showing how dominant he can be on the best top lane tank.
Yeah, now he got a sap magic off on a couple minions and is almost back to half health by now. So SKT looking to extend the duration of this Baron push.
And they keep splitting back and forth between the waves. And how are you going to catch up to Bang and Blank when your hard engage is a Xiaohu flash ult or a Mata doing the same thing? And, well, those guys can kite away. Kindred and Ezreal very, very safe. There's just no opening for RNG here. Once again to the top lane, auto attacks coming out of Faker's Rise, whittling these structures down. The cannon minion helping as well.
Yep.
It's just the
There goes
Chinese
mid.
team trying to withstand the Baron push. Mid lane is gone. The turret's dead. It's just the inhibitor now, and there's still a Baroned up cannon minion doing damage. Bang. Almost able to ignore Azir's damage output for a bit. Blank looking for the play on a Xiaohu, but gets pushed right back.
RNG have to look to make a play. They will not want to go out of a tournament in this faction, just being strangled by superior SKT lineup.
Yeah, and like Freak said earlier, SKT is actually on pace for a perfect game. This is a 13,000 gold lead, 25 minutes in. No dragons conceded, no Rift Heralds conceded, no turrets conceded. And you'd think RNG, the team that has been able to create so much chaos and punch people while they're trying to set up on plays, have missed every single time against the elusive SKT here. And at this point, SKT may be way too strong that even if RNG is able to get a hit in, they won't flinch.
Have you ever tried to hit a tree before, Jack? That's all I'm saying. They take a couple of blows and still remain standing, because right now, like, third dragon, 7 turrets down. As you said, nothing has been achieved. And they're even, like, rubbing salt into the wounds. Faker goes for a GA. Like, you don't want to hit him already because he's got, like, the roller, he's got Seraph. Now he has a GA to just complement it even further. You have to kill him, you don't want to. How the heck do you get onto the Ezreal, who's 3 items? He's going for a QSS next.
And Blank moving on towards what I think is Frozen Mallet, actually, as his next item up here. If I have my build math proper, I don't see it very much, but
That'll be it.
just a very durable set of champions here. You're seeing Bang start some magic resist. You've got the Mikhail's Crucible done for Wolf. It's actually a quite durable SKT lineup, actually.
Yeah, and they're the ones that control the fights, and they're just itemizing so they control them even more so. Distortion boots on the teleporters, QSSs very soon on the people that could get caught. They also are the team with the hard CC. Like, they just are adding to their control.
They've got everything. They're looking to close this one out. Sub 30 minutes. 3 in a row put them in. Faker gets the root on MLXG. Mata puts the shield up, but look at the health bar loss. Poke out a Bang, goes in, gets 1! Might look for a second here. So far, so good for SKT. 2 kills picked up. Faker pushed back even farther thanks to the Poppy. Now Bang is exhausted. Lambs and Bite comes in, Blank hitting that one pretty early to keep him alive, and it's a flash out from Woosh. Lupercott forced to flash out himself, but the re-engage on in, and they're gonna pick off Woosh 8-0. Only 2 alive for Royal, as SKT look to close out the series right now.
Yeah, and that's large death timers right there. SKT looking to perfect game RNG to head into the finals.
And if you thought SKT were mortal, where their apotheosis is nearly here, Xiaohu goes down, the perfect game in the last match of the semifinal. Into the finals they go. SKT are here to stay with a perfect game win over Royal.
And the impressive thing is it's not just Faker, it is a whole team lineup once again back in form.
And SKT took the energy right out of this building during this series. Every game progressively better for SKT. Even though the second one was the fastest, the way they deconstructed RNG's strategy and really seemed to both mentally as well as mechanically beat RNG, culminated in the perfect game to move to the finals.
And let's not make any mistakes. This is a great RNG lineup. They went 8-2 during the group stages, were able to take a game off the world champions in game 1, but you just have to take your hat off in respect to how well oiled this SKT machine really is after what was a nightmare group stage, falling down 1 game in a best of 5. Others would have crumbled, and they just got so much better. And
that's the biggest thing, right? After they had the bad group stage, they lost the first game relatively convincingly, and then 3 games later, 2.5 hours later, they perfect game that same team. That's incredible.
Yes, it is. And it's just a microcosm of how this tournament has been. Start a little bit shaky and then get real good by the end here. And you gotta wonder, the matchup tomorrow, both of these teams, whether it's CLG or Flash Wolves, will have to be very afraid of this SKT.
That's what I was gonna say. You saw them both in game 1. They were sitting front row. They kind of got grins on their face. They're like, oh yeah, this is going all right. Talk about sending a message to whoever has to meet you in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the way this group stage happened with RNG the ones to chip away at SKT's aura of invincibility a little bit, and then everyone kind of jumped on the train, well, they have re-established their aura right now. perfect game against the #1 seed from group stage. That's SKT's level right now.
You talk about SKT's invulnerability. Even though Tarek's disabled in this tournament, you give him a delay, then suddenly all of SKT's invincible. It's almost perfect. And that's what this team is right now. It's the Koreans, the Tarek Ultimate, who I think this invincibility might last through the rest of this tournament.
And you know, the story just gets scarier as you go along. Duke looks like he has weaknesses. Games 2 and 3, they shore that up. All right, maybe it's their bottom lane that you can start picking on. You know, last game there, Bang and Wolf smashed Whoosh and Mata. Like, this whole team just were able to come together. And you know, it's about time because we expected at game 1 of the group stage, but they finally got there.
Yeah, it was so impressive to watch, and it's tough for RNG, right? Because they had a really good tournament. This team showed a tremendous amount of growth, as we even saw Imp talking about, from the regular season to the playoffs to now, where for last week, they were the best team here. It's just they weren't able to sustain that level against SKT here in the knockout stage.
And there's one final player I want to give props to, actually. It's SKT support Wolf. In the first week, we had an interview with EDG's coach, and we asked, Shox asked, like, you know, what's the problem here? If there's a player you'd replace, Blank wasn't doing very well. And he said, if there's players I'd replace, it's Wolf. And further context was because his champion pool was shallow, he wasn't bringing the right style. Well, comes in with a bunch of Soraka games, Karma in the end there, beating up on the lane, taking Whoosh down, allowing another lane of pressure. That was a key to SKT's victory. A great series by them, a beautiful win, nearly invincible, really, a perfect game in Game 4. The team to watch here. And to break that amazing set of games down a bit farther, let's send over the Dash in the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It only got more dominating as the series went on. They've already hit it a few times. Perfect game by SKT in that 4th game of the series. 17K gold lead with a 27-minute, 55-second victory time there after the previously dominating victory as well. And they're going to feel so much better moving forward to the finals now here at MSI. Kobe, you talked about mental blocks maybe for Faker. And I just, now that, right? And what just happened? I feel like he did exactly that. He just completely shattered the idea of a mental block here, stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, a lot of things that we were talking about coming into MSI did not hold true. Xiaohu, the performances that he had been having were night and day compared to what he was in this series. Multiple people on SKT, individuals stepped up, but also as a team, you know, working much better together.
To me, this is a team victory for SKT because, Xiaohu maybe in the micro parts couldn't do as much as we expected, but the main reason is because RNG basically give him no help. And they're like, Faker gets to play with like 4 pink wards in the river.
Yeah, that was
in a matchup where if you can all in because you have vision, you can actually win the matchup as a Rise. And he's like, well, I can see everything and you can see nothing, so I'm just going to play aggressive. And then Xiaohu obviously falls apart.
When you say Faker plus 4 pink wards, you mean 4 actual pink wards, not the TSM version where the players...
Not the 4 players, no. The pink wards, and even, you know, add in a jungler who
He's playing with 8
does
pink
show
wards.
up. So it makes it so much easier for Faker, and that's where, again, as a team, when you get into these BO5s and you have a bit of time to rewatch your games and kind of adjust what was going wrong, you end up with a result like this.
And in terms of, like, mental aspect or approach to the game, we saw the shift in SKT, and they went back to their comfortable style, never overreaching. Like the caster desk at the end was talking about how Wolf and Bang smashed our lane. Well, looking at some of the phases in depth, they could have smashed it way harder, but they never even came close to disrespecting their opponents. So many times, Wolf could have literally walked up and wanted to trade even harder, but he's like, I don't want to miss a ward somewhere. I don't want to get TP'd on. I don't want to get roamed on. I may not know exactly where the jungler is. They didn't allow for any counterplay, and I think it became too frustrating almost for RNG to play against that style, and then they started overreaching themselves and making some... too big mistakes.
Yeah, SKT had that game or team fight oriented plan all the way from pick bans through and executed it really well.
Yeah, RNG looking a little defeated there going into Game 4 even. We'll have some more time to talk about this game and the series. For now, though, let's send it down to the interview lounge for a word with one of our MSI finalists.
Thank you very much, Dash. I am joined here by Wolf of the SKT bottom lane after making it to the finals. First up, of course, congratulations, Wolf. I want to ask you about the approach to the series, especially after Game 1, when you guys had come off some losses in the group stage, then suffering that hard loss in Game 1. What happened within the team, because you guys looked unstoppable after that?
울프 선수 우선 결승 진출을 축하드립니다. 그 첫 번째 질문으로는 이제 SKT1 팀이 이번 대회 도중에 좀 연패도 많이 하고 이제 특히나 이제 4강 1경기에 좀 되게 나름 큰 패배를 겪었는데 어떻게 바로 팀원끼리 추스려서 나머지 경기들을 이렇게 압도적으로 이겼는지 좀 말씀해 주세요.
일단 저희 팀이 굉장히 그런 멘탈 관리적인 면에서 좀 좋아요. 네. 코치님도 케어를 잘 해주시고 그리고 그런 지능 게임 안에서 배울 점이 저는 많다고 생각하기 때문에 해외 팀의 그런 점을 배운다고 생각했어요. 다음 시즌을 위해서. 네.
So I think our team in general, we have really great mentality, and our coach Koma, he also helps us like grab our minds. And during our losses during the group stage and for the first game, we just think it as a learning experience. Like we learn from the foreign teams, and we learn like from their players and their teams, and that's how we just overcame it.
You also had a really good series. It was interesting to me the picks for Soraka and Karma, the ranged supports, which are not as preferred, and you were going up against Mata, who prefers those other champions that are bulkier and more aggressive. Why the choice for these champions? Why did it work versus RNG?
그 울프 선수 이번 4강전 내내 이제 소라카 또는 카르마 챔피언을 픽했었는데 이게 어쨌든 메타와는 이제 완전히 뭐 이제 대세 챔피언들은 아니고 또 이제 반대편에 마타 선수는 되게 공격적이고 이런 이니시 강한 챔피언들 많이 골랐었는데 그 왜 상조되는 픽들을 했었는지 말씀해 주시겠어요?
일단 개인적으로 소라카나 카르마가 굉장히 라인전이 강한 챔피언이라고 생각해요. 그래서 라인전에서 일단 무조건 제가 이득을 볼 수 있을 거라고 생각했고 그 다음으로는 해외팀과 스크림을 하는 도중에 뭐 소라카나 그런 챔피언들을 상대해봤는데 꽤 괜찮은 픽인 것 같아서 네 괜찮아 보여서 픽했어요.
So while scrimming against other foreign teams, I got to learn that Soraka is actually a really good pick, and Soraka and Karma, they're both champions that are stronger in the lane phase. So I wanted to focus on snowballing from the laning phase to get ahead.
Okay. Final question, or one of the final questions. Obviously, you're in the final now. You guys are looking unstoppable. Who would be your preferred opponent out of CLG and the Flash Wolves, and why?
그러면 이제 결승전 상대가 내일 정해지는데요. 이제 CLG랑 플래시 wolves 중에서 어떤 팀을 더 붙기를 선호하시나요? 그리고 그 이유까지 설명해 주세요.
저는 플래시 오브즈보다는 CLG가 올라오는 게 좀 더 경기가 재밌을 것 같아요. CLG가 조금 더 잘한다고도 생각하고 특히 아프로모 선수에게도 배울 점이 좀 많았었기 때문에 이번에 다시 경기하면 또 배울 것 같고 네, CLG가 더 잘하고 재밌어서 CLG가 올라왔으면 좋겠어요.
I think CLG is a bit better than Flash Wolves right now, and I think it'd be more interesting to play against them. And I personally respect Afromu, and I learned a lot from him during the group stage, and I wish to learn more through the finals.
Okay, is there anything you have to add as a final note? SKT is looking unstoppable now. Are you going to get that title?
일단 SKT가 지금으로서는 이제 더 이상 막을 자가 없을 것 같은데 마지막으로 하고 싶으신 말씀 있으시면 지금 해주세요.
제가 작년 MSI 또 뭐 롤드컵, IEM 전부 이 자리에 한 번도 못 왔었는데 이 자리에 오니까 되게 좋네요. 이렇게 샥지 누나랑 인터뷰하는 것도 좋고, 네 호민님 뵈는 것도 좋고, 네 더 경기 잘해서 또 다음에 올 수 있도록 더 좋은 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
So like while playing at last year MSI Worlds and this year IEM, I was never able to be at this spot to interview with you. I'm really glad that I'm here to be with Shox.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I'll just keep on playing better and harder to so that I can come here once more in the future.
When you guys are victorious, thank you very much for this interview and the kind words as well. Fantastic. Wolf after securing their spot in the final with SKT on Sunday. Take it away, guys.